Okay, hey, what's going on? This is Virgil, and I'm here again with Fazio on the
How you doing,
podcast. And we were supposed to record this earlier, but I got caught up masturbating with my girlfriend on the phone. So, yeah, phone sex. People still do it.
I mean, I figure we're even using Skype to record that, so that's kind of ironic, maybe, or whatever that term is. I mean, why don't you just use like a video chat or something?
Because I don't have a webcam.
All right. Well, that's a good reason to get one.
No, it isn't. No. The better reason is
Most computers have webcams now, don't they?
Mine's everything. My computer's all custom.
Oh, okay.
And I just didn't build a webcam into the monitor yet.
Oh, nice. So it's running Windows 8 then, or?
No, it's custom from a year ago. I haven't updated it with that yet, and I don't care to because I'm sure there's problems with it. So yeah, anyways, we're on the podcast. A lot of stuff to talk about. Let's
cool.
Go over stuff.
I wasn't sure if there was. So.
I'm sure there's not. First and foremost, just so everyone knows, I'm going at the Hard Rock Cafe in San Francisco tomorrow. Be there or don't.
So you do comedy at the Hard Rock, right?
No, it's music.
It's music, okay. So, because I know you play drums, right?
Yeah, drums and bass.
Okay. So, are you going to be playing with a band, or are you going to be?
Hopefully, I'll be able to fill in again.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just helping out. But usually, I get to fill in with them. They're one of them is a coworker and a friend of mine, and the other one is his brother. So I can pretty much squeeze my way in. Giggity. Yeah, so that's that, and nobody cares. So I heard you watched the video that Danny put up.
Yeah, I watched Trung's video.
What'd you think?
I didn't hate it as much as you did.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. Who said I hated it?
You said he didn't laugh once.
No, I didn't.
That's what you told me.
No, I didn't at all. But how does that mean I hated it?
Well, it does. It's not very confident. I mean, you say you didn't laugh once. It's not a great thing to say about anything, I guess. But
I didn't laugh, but I didn't hate it. I think he is improving, but
yeah, let's talk about that. I really do think he's improving, like you said. Some stuff that stuck out to me immediately was he was very nervous on stage in the first part of it.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like that. Maybe
he got more confident as it went on because the audience started to get more on his side, and that's the easiest way to get confidence is when the audience is confident with you. In the beginning, he was doing a lot of ums. He was looking at the ground a lot. He was kind of looking. You can tell he was like looking at the audience, like looking for applause or some kind of satisfaction, something from them, some kind of signal like, oh, I'm doing okay, which is pretty common for new comics, and even some pro. I mean, I'm been doing it 6+ years, and sometimes I'll be like looking out in the audience, and I'll start to feel like bad when I'm not getting the laughs that I want to. But you can't think that way when you're on stage. You just kind of have to go through your joke, whether or not the audience is kind of with you.
Yeah, you do.
He wasn't doing that. He was kind of doing. What was weird to me is he reminded me of myself when I was on stage, like very early on, like first anime expos and all that, because I recognized some of the stuff that he did is stuff that I would do and sometimes still do when I'm on stage.
Like what?
Like the energy he had, the way he would call out to the audience, the way he would kind of dismiss jokes that weren't working. The entire way he told his last story, which is his.
I didn't get that far. I should actually say I should save judgment because I didn't watch the whole thing.
Well, the last joke he said was the same joke he told on your podcast earlier.
So then it was funny because I think that was a funny
he ended
joke.
with it, and the way he did it was actually very similar to how I used to tell story jokes when I was first starting out. Before I kind of just ditched that format. Because that's just for me, story jokes weren't working. But for him, he would put like a lot of enthusiasm into words, put like a lot of energy, and he would present himself as kind of like this nerdy, confident guy. He even did this whole bit about being overly manly, which I kind of did when I was starting out as well. So really looking at it, I mean, that's kind of selfish to say, but I really did see a lot of what I do in his act, and not in like saying he's copying me or anything, which I really don't think he is, but I can see like where he's coming from because I was there. Like I really felt that, and the one joke I really like, a lot of it I didn't think worked. I agree with you that most of the time I didn't laugh. He's still doing a lot of the easy racist stuff.
Was he? Because I didn't. That's why I said he was improving, because I didn't hear any. But again, I didn't watch all of it.
It was very much less. He was really trying to branch out, but he would still do like.
It's a safety zone.
He would do the safety, like Asian jokes.
He's still in a safety zone.
He was still there. Like some of the stuff he said, like he had one bit where he's talking about like puberty. He said, "Oh, women, you know, I remember learning about women puberty, like when they grow vaginas." Or something like that, and I actually kind of chuckled at that, and then he followed up that joke with a kind of callback where he talked about how he went home with a chick, and turned out the chick was a guy, and he said like, "Oh, I didn't know women could grow penises either," which I thought was clever because I thought was funny.
If you word that well and time it right, that's a good joke.
Yeah, and because I didn't think he was going to come back to, like, the growing vagina. I thought that was just kind of like a one-off he just was going to say. I didn't think he was actually going to come back to it, so I was impressed by that.
That's pretty clever. But, so what? He brought a girl home? What did his mom say about that?
I mean, that would have been funny.
No, that's kind of mean. Oh, well.
But, I mean, that's something he can even use in his act, because he was doing stuff like that. Like, oh, you know, like, look at me, I don't get girls, I had the face. You know, he's doing the regular stuff, which, again, works really well.
Does it? Does it really?
It's so popular, it has to be working well.
Yeah, but, you know, Lady Gaga's popular, and that doesn't mean he's right.
Well, then it's just a matter of opinion at that point, because I don't like Lady Gaga, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, so because they're wrong. Maybe they're wrong. I mean,
a lot of people.
Don't say a matter of opinion. How many Nazis?
Okay, now that's bad. That's bad argument. When you get to Hitler, when you get to Hitler, Nazi, that's kind of like the end of an argument. You just say, "Oh, well, Hitler did that."
Listen, I'm not saying I didn't say Hitler was a bad person.
All right, just Nazis.
Listen, I'm a supporter of the Nazis. You're jumping the gun here. I'm a complete no. But I'm just saying, just because everyone likes it doesn't mean it's right. People like Gak doesn't mean he's actually good.
I agree. No, I agree with all of that. What I'm saying, though, is that I think that kind of nerd stuff can work, and it can be, even though that, you know, I personally have moved on from that stuff because of the reasons that I've talked about in multiple of these podcasts. I think there's still something there, and if Trung wants to pursue that, he absolutely should, and go ahead with it.
But if you're looking for this as like a full-time career, how are you going to do that when you're like 40? When you're George Carlin age, are you still going to be doing that?
See, that's where he's going to have to find a way to differentiate himself, to really stand out from the other nerdy Asian comics, which is its own subgenre. You know, let's be honest here.
I know, it really is. It is.
He's going to have to. I mean, he's going to have to find identity, and that's the hardest thing in the world for a comic to do. Well, I think he's making the right steps, whether they're big steps or baby steps. Just from what I've seen, really the only things I would complain about was just that he was just so nervous, and he would stumble on a lot of the jokes in the beginning, which may just be because he hasn't told them before. He may not be comfortable with the material yet, so that's why he wasn't saying them as efficiently as he could have been. But I mean, other than that, I think, like you said, he's definitely improving. Not all the jokes hit.
They never do. I mean,
they never do. But I think if he can just not be nervous and really just be efficient with his material, because some of them he's really stumbling with the words for a lot of his jokes, where he's setting up a premise, like, oh, let's do that, and then he'll take back words, or he's clearly, you can tell he's struggling to get the joke out, which is very common for a lot of newer comics. So that's something he needs to work on.
This might sound kind of pricky for me, but I never had a problem saying what I had to say.
Well,
ever.
You've always had good stage presence, even when you were kind of just fucking around. Like, you were always very articulate.
I guess
that's the right word.
That's probably a good word. Articulate and
people like Trung and me, you know, when we started out, we are like half ADD. We've got a lot of energy, and we're thinking of a million things at once. So when we're trying to formulate an idea, our mouths are going, you know, a mile a minute. We're just trying to find the right words. And it took me a long time to be able to get to the point where I can say exactly what I want, clear and concisely. Because, I mean, even just thinking about, like, when I was first performing, I would talk so fast. I would, because that's just kind of who I was. I kind of had to force myself to slow down while still keeping that manic energy that I was known for.
Well, I don't want to turn this into let's critique Trung show.
Okay.
But
honestly, I'm trying to remember. I guess that's probably the biggest fault, is that none of the jokes were really memorable to me, where I can kind of remember what he said. That's probably the worst. I mean, that's the worst thing that I can say about it is that.
Where was this at again? Was this at one of
Danny's shows?
A little Tokyo. See, like, and you say this all the time too, and I'm in complete agreement with you. You have to do actual clubs.
And that was even weirder for me, that he was so nervous, and he's done Danny's show like a million times. Like, why is he so nervous in front of that crowd? Like, he's performed in front of them a million times. He shouldn't have that problem. Like, if he was performing at like an actual LA club and doing an open mic, then I could understand the nervousness a little bit more. But he's done that a million times. He should be over that.
I don't know. Does the nervousness ever go away for you?
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. What? I should have waited to hear the question. No, it never really goes away, but you kind of deal with it. It's like, what's that thing they always hear in movies, what they say about fear, is that, like, courage is knowing that you're afraid and doing it anyway. That old, whatever, they probably said that in Braveheart or something. It's such a dumb fucking thing, but
that's what retards do.
It really is true, because I'm always still, like, nervous, and I still get that fear, but I deal with it, and I go on anyway. I think that's the real strength of a comic.
Well, think about this. The stove is red hot. I'm afraid to touch it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Are you going to call me brave or retarded? You know what I mean?
Are you saying that me going up on stage is like touching a red hot stove?
No, I'm just saying that saying is a bullshit saying, and you're right in what you're saying. I just wish you didn't say that. That's just, ugh. I
know, I agree with what you're saying. It's very fucking Disney movie, whatever, bullshit. But a lot of times there's some truth in that. And maybe it doesn't work in every single situation. But when people say, like, true courage is doing, like, what you need to do even though you're afraid of it, again, fucking whatever you think about that saying, there's some truth behind it. Because I will go up on stage or I'll do a show and I'll get nervous, but at the same time think, okay, but I have to do the best show that I can. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter if I'm nervous at the audience. It doesn't matter if everybody else had a bad set that night and I got to be the one that pulls it back. I got to be the one who's got to stand up and have a good show. Like, you got to be brave. You can't think about, oh, what if I bomb, or, oh, what if I do this? Because you have to move past that. And there's ways that comics do that to kind of get in the zone. It's the same thing that sports athletes do, or just any kind of entertainer. They have to get into some kind of state of mind.
Oh, yeah. I understand the athlete thing, but I didn't ever do that for comedy. Like, because I was a martial artist for years, competition martial arts, and
that's very cool.
There's a certain thing. There's like like what I would do is I would just when you're in the locker room or whatever, you just warm up and until you're in a sweat, and at that point, for me, my trainer, which would be my dad, would just like slap me over and over, just pump. That's how I got pumped up, and then you go out in the competition and just kick it. But for comedy, it's like, I don't feel brave going out on stage. I see it a completely different way, and I have to completely disagree with you. From my perspective.
Well, then how do you prepare, or how do you go on stage? Like, do you do anything, or do you just jump up?
I punch the wall over and over. I recite. I try to recite. Okay, this is my big secret quote, and that's nice.
Yeah.
But when I make my jokes so that they all link to the next joke, and that's the best way that I can remember a routine. That's the best.
That's the best way to do comedy, is have everything connect like that.
That's
good segues. And
that's how I do it. I make not even good segues. They can be like, I can talk about ass rape and then shift into pineapples, but and it won't make sense to the audience, but to me it's a mnemonic, and that's what I use. So I go over the mnemonics, and then right before stage time, I'm smashing my knuckles. I'm trying to hurt something, and the fear for me is wonderful. It's one of the best feelings, and I'm not brave when I go out on stage. I feel safe in the fear because it's so familiar. Because growing up, being abused and all that stuff, I don't know, maybe that's it. But I don't think you have to be brave to go on stage. I think, for me, I just enjoy the fear.
And that's what works well for you. I mean, going back to what I'm talking about, I just think that comics have different ways of preparing to go on stage. Like you said, you will, recite your structure of your set, like make sure everything. I can't do that when I go up on stage. The most that I'll do is I'll write my set down on a piece of paper so I have it, but I can't think in my head of the order or any of the structure at all of my material when I go on stage. Like for me, like I have to be so open to just completely scrapping everything that I have and going off on some tangent, which is what I feel like I'm really good at. That I can only use those jokes as like a guidelines or like backup to what I really want to do on stage. Because for me, like my big problem is overthinking. That's my biggest sin when it comes to doing anything. And especially in comedy where I'm overthinking, like, is this funny or is this not? What I have to do is I actually have to silence my mind. Like, I get into this state. I used to do this a lot when I was playing, like, video games more often before I got really busy. I used to try and be professional, like Super Smash Brothers as a fighting game. And I would get into the state where I would just clear my head and just completely be focused on whatever I was doing. So for comedy, I'm doing that where I'm just blanking out and trying not to overthink about anything, just making my mind completely silent. Because once I'm in that state, I can react to anything that's going on and instantly. And if I can react to it instantly and not overthink it, I just get my gut to whatever a heckler says or to whatever the audience is thinking about my joke, then I'm going to hit it hard. And I know that. I know I'm going to hit it as hard as I can. I'm going to have a really good set.
That's actually something I want to talk about, hecklers. How do you deal with them?
It depends on the heckler.
Okay, how about this? The most common type is just the drunken broad. It's always a woman who doesn't like a joke you said. And it's like, that wasn't funny. Just something like, how would you deal with that?
My belief is that if you're able to talk to that heckler, eventually you'll get them to say something that's going to hit in your head and you'll have a good response to it. So maybe you don't have a good response maybe after the first few things, but eventually they're going to say something that's either going to trip them up or going to say something that reminds you of something that you can say, and then you're going to be able to deal with them really well. I would say, as a suggestion, don't give up on heckling hecklers if you can't think of something off the bat, because I think in time you will be able to come up with something.
For what works for me, because I'm always hated, is that you let the heckler talk, and you let them become the enemy. You let them talk their, because they're not going to be funny. If they were funny, they would be standing where you are, and they're going to be talking and they're going to be drunk, and you have to kind of let the audience hate them first. And once the audience hates them, it doesn't matter what you say. Anything you say, like they could just say something. Once the audience hates them, and they can say like, "Oh, you're not funny," and I'll be like, "Yeah, deep thoughts." The audience will be completely with you. You know, it's really not hard, in my opinion, to deal with a heckler. You don't even have to be funny. You just have to talk at the right moment, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there are different types of hecklers, though.
Oh, absolutely.
And not every single heckler is that drunk douchebag. Some hecklers actually can be really well-meaning. Just a guy, I remember I did a show and a guy would like laugh or like ask me questions during my jokes. And it was like the weirdest show, but like, I responded to it, and I made an impression. And those guys, I think, can be more dangerous because they're the heckler that the audience doesn't hate. Because like you were saying, if the audience hates the heckler, then you have a much better time of getting them. But if the heckler actually says something that causes the audience to cheer because maybe they agree with it, maybe you did some bad joke or something, and they'll say some comment, and the audience will cheer, or they'll say something that's not... That's a little goofy. I remember I did a show with a guy who had this weird laugh, but it wasn't his fault. He just had a really weird laugh, but it was so distinct and pretty much distracted everybody else from the material. Mm-hmm. And every comic that night was forced to make some kind of joke about it because that's just the situation. So in those, you can't, hit that guy too hard because if the audience feels like you're being too mean to somebody, then you completely lose them. I know for you, like, getting the audience to hate you is kind of your thing, so I don't know how you deal with those situations. But for me personally, I got to be fair with those kind of hecklers.
I try not to get them to hate me. I try to get them to hate what they like. And it's not because I want them to feel bad about themselves or anything, but I want people to look at themselves outside of themselves and kind of point out how irrelevant they really are and put things into perspective. It just so happens that usually leads to people hating me.
But for you, that's your shtick, though, is people hating you. I mean, that's what works for you.
When you use that word, you got to define it for me, because for me, it's not shtick. That's my personality.
Exactly. Well, what I mean by shtick, like, that's your thing. I guess that's what you do. I mean, your act is you hating people. Like my act is being a weirdo that does a lot of improv. I guess that's my shtick.
But you are a weirdo. You're very strange.
I mean, that's what I am. When I try not to be a weirdo, when I try to be something that I'm not, that's when I fail at comedy. When I try to, like we talked about, when I try to do like the quieter acts, the slower stuff. Like when I'm all hyped up, and making people, they maybe not necessarily think that I'm on drugs, but there's definitely something wrong with me, and that maybe I might be on drugs, even though I don't do those kind of drugs. That's the state. That's a state I like. For me, I always feel better when the audience knows less about me as possible, because I want them to look at me in a clean slate, and that's not always easy when I'm doing like anime shows or people like remember my jokes or remember me from Anime Expo. Sometimes that can be hard for me when people kind of get who I am. Then I really got to kick it up to another level, because okay, they get that I'm a weirdo. Okay, now where can I take these people? And I think I'm figuring that out. Slowly. It's the material, I guess, you have. That's all you can do.
Yeah. I was gonna say something and I don't remember what it was. I'm really annoyed that I don't remember. I want to get back to this comedy thing, but moving on, the Oscars.
Why not?
Our listeners are so. First of all, I didn't watch it, and I'll tell you why. I forgot it existed. I mean, why does this? Why?
For me, the Oscars are torture because I don't want to watch it, but like I want to at the same time.
As a movie buff, you kind of
have to. As a movie buff, it's kind of like, I would almost say it's my Super Bowl, but I care. The Super Bowl is much more entertaining.
Depends
than
on
the Oscars are. But for me, like, I know the Oscars are bullshit, but at the same time, like, I want to know who won. Like, I want to see all the celebrity stuff talking about the Oscar. I like when they talk about the old movies.
I just don't understand how anyone could care. What are you talking to your girlfriend?
No, just whatever. Some guy. I don't want to make too much. She might keep messaging me. But
is he a weirdo? Is he gay?
No, he's just a guy. I know. But no, he's a cool guy. But
nobody's cool. Everybody's an asshole.
But we were talking about the Oscars. Specifically, I don't know if there's any part that you want to talk about the Oscars. I can go off for fucking hours just about the Oscars.
I'll cut you off when I think the listeners are bored.
I mean, is there any specific thing you want me to talk about with the Oscars, like the show?
You had a lot of problems with Brave winning anything, and
that was really upsetting.
I'll agree with you, because I thought that was a pretty boring movie.
Yeah, like as far as Pixar goes, like, it's only slightly better than Cars,
which I didn't see.
That's the Cars movies are the only ones I haven't seen, so I'm kind of being a little bullshit here.
How to Train Your Dragon was a great movie.
It was really good.
It was surprisingly good, because it wasn't like, they had a lot of kid stuff in it, but it was like, remember The Incredibles?
Yeah.
It was like that. It was just an animated regular movie.
Yeah.
That just happened to be animated, but because it's animated, people assume it's for kids. And it's not to say that How to Train Your Dragon wasn't for kids, but it was just an animated movie, and it was fucking good. And I think I don't know if it won any awards, but it certainly deserved any.
I don't know what else was. I don't know what else came out that year. But for me, like, I'm really into animation. I mean, that's what my panels that I do at conventions, the Fazio vs. Anime, is me talking about cartoons. So I can get a little heated about it. And Brave it just wasn't, what I expect from Pixar. I thought Rise of the Guardians was a lot better than it even, and that wasn't even nominated for an Oscar.
Was that the one with the owls?
Yeah, it was with, like, each character was like a holiday character or something. Really.
Oh no, that wasn't the one with the owls. Then that was the one with Jack Frost and all that.
So that was like Joe Elf. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so the two there were 5 movies that were nominated. Brave, which I didn't think was very good. I thought it was pretty. I mean, I think the animation was about as good as you can get with the animation.
That stunk.
But it's boring. Like I agree with what you're saying. It's boring animation, even though it's very well done. It's not artistic, if that makes sense. It's
was
not
a
really
dumperoo.
Stuck out to me. I mean, her hair was kind of cool. I mean, that they spent a lot of time getting that to flow right. I mean, that's kind of interesting. But just the whole plot, I mean, was generally like her mom turning into a bear. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, whatever. It's like it wasn't that interesting to me. The only parts that I thought were funny were the parts with the witch, who I thought was a really cool character, and I wish I had seen more of that, because that was really the only times I was not bored out of my mind during the film.
It was basically Skyrim that you didn't play.
Exactly. Like the boring parts of Skyrim when you're reading books and talking to people. Or the other nominees, because the 2 movies that I thought I would have been fine with winning were Wreck-It Ralph, which I thought was great, and Paranorman, which I thought was the best animated film of the year. I really like Paranorman. I'll speak for I'll praise that to the end of the year. I just thought that was so well done. And the other 2 nominees were the pirate movie by Aardman, which they haven't really done anything good.
What pirate movie?
The claymation pirate film that came out was.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It's Aardman. And Aardman at one point was making Wallace and Gromit and Creature Comforts and all these
Creature Comforts. That was so funny.
Yeah, these really great claymation stuff, and now nobody really gives a shit because they're not really doing anything interesting anymore.
Not really claymation. It's stop motion animation.
Is it stop motion now? Okay. Well, at one point it was claymation.
It's not. They don't use clay anymore. That's so. Ugh. Where have you been?
I don't know. But when they were doing claymation, they were cool. And then the 5th film was Frankenweenie, which was just
awful.
So bad. It was really, really. The 3rd act was so bad. They just completely just destroy any goodwill that film could have had. Was
that a Tim Burton one?
Yeah, that was a Tim Burton one.
Yeah, he's such an Ugh, what a cunt. Him and his stupid hair.
It's funny. It's funny because the best parts of Frankenweenie were the parts that were from his original short. Because the story behind Frankenweenie.
Vaguely.
His short film.
Yeah. It's sort of like Neil Gaiman's what was that Coraline kind of thing. Kind of spawned off of that, something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, the guy who did Coraline was the guy who directed Nightmare Before Christmas. That was the same guy, which makes sense. They look almost identical.
Yeah, but that director's actually a good director.
Yeah, he. That company made Paranorman, even though he wasn't a director on that. But
there were some scenes I remember. Now that you mentioned Paranorman, that was actually some of the stuff that I saw was entirely watchable.
I don't know. Did you see the whole movie or?
No, I just saw bits and pieces because I don't pay attention to movies when they're on. So I see bits and pieces, and some of it was like, holy shit, that was actually really cool.
A lot of it's really good. The whole ending is so sad and emotional. I was crying.
You faggot.
I cried everything, dude.
You
cried. I cried beautiful scenes, but it gets really sad towards the end because it takes a turn that you don't expect it to, and it really, really works.
Like they have sex?
That'd be a good turn.
You wouldn't expect that.
I wouldn't, unless the zombies start having sex or something. That'd be, I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be called something else.
The zombie having sex, and then his dick comes off, and the woman's vag, and she's like, "Look, I don't need you anymore. I got my own dildo."
That'd be para-porn.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I used to have a soundboard for incidences like this, but not anymore.
Right. It's a terrible pun.
Yeah, there would be I used to play them on Brian all the time. It would be booze and stuff.
I need that right now. That would make me feel better.
That would make me feel better. I think that everyone who's listening to this would feel better. Dude, I cannot get a regular fucking co-host. I want to do I want to do, I don't know if you listen to Bill Burr's podcast.
No.
Bill Burr has a podcast, the Monday Morning Podcast, and it's just him. He's just naturally interesting to listen to and all that. But so I like to do that, but I want a regular co-host, and I can't fucking get one. Like, Brian is, like, sometimes available. Denzel hasn't gotten back to me ever since.
You and Denzel work really great together.
He doesn't respond to anything I say to him.
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. It might have been because I said the N-word.
He doesn't care about that.
But the thing is, I'm black. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
so then you're fine. You can say it.
Well, and you know how dumb that is? Just because anthropologically, there is no distinct difference between any ethnic group at all. Like if you go into anthropology as a major, you learn that one of the first things you learn is that there's no such thing as being black. That's just, it does none of that those are all classifications to make it easier for humans to segregate and subjugate.
Yeah.
But it's all horseshit. We're all exactly identical. You know, if you want to segregate, just look how close we are to the chimps, and then let's be racist to them. You know? What are we? We're like missing what?
Too easy. Those monkeys. I'll tell you that.
Well, chimps aren't monkeys; they're apes.
I'm sorry.
But
I apologize for my racial comment to the chimps.
That was very
it's very offensive.
Very racist, actually. That was the bona fide definition of racism.
I'm gonna get a call from Jesse Jackson now.
No, dude, that is actually racist.
That is racist.
Are you saying
Jesse
Jackson? Are you saying Jesse Jackson, a black activist, is going to defend a chimp? Is that what you're saying? That is the most racist.
He is pretty crazy.
That is racist.
You know, I'm not. I wouldn't say this to any black person, but I think maybe Jesse Jackson could be a chimp, just from what I've seen.
The black part of me hates you.
But I'm not saying that all African Americans are chimps, just him.
I hate that word, African American. Oh, no, just black. Just say black.
Just say black.
Just say black. Don't say African American.
Because I'm the whitest fucker in the world. That's why I can't get away with any of this.
So, I mean, you can't say European American because people have accepted that Europe is very diverse. Maybe because...
No, it's just racism. You should be able to say... You should call them European American as, you know...
No, you shouldn't.
Payback or something.
No, I don't think you should.
The reason you don't say European American is because it's automatically, as soon as you say American, you're thinking white. You know, so you don't say European American.
Well, don't forget fat.
And fat. I'm sorry. When you think American, you're thinking fat white people, which I agree.
Yeah. And, well, when you think American, you usually... For me. Maybe this is for me.
Yeah.
I think fat white broads. That's what I think. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Or just rich, spoiled broads.
Nah, nobody's rich. Everybody's fat. And the broads. That's just what I think. See, This is why women don't listen to my podcast.
There's a lot of reasons why women don't listen to this podcast.
Really? Name 2.
We have 8 people that watch this podcast. I don't think any... But yeah, doesn't Yazi or whatever listen to this podcast?
First of all, it's Yasi.
Yasi, sorry.
She was on this. She was on one a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't get it uploaded because I lost everything from that. It was kind of embarrassing. But it would be embarrassing if I had a sponsor and got paid. Which, by the way, I'm still looking to hope for. So I'm going to go ahead and plug Stamps.com because that's what Bill Burr does, and he's my hero, and I just want to be like him. I want to be a pasty ginger.
Is he a ginger? I guess he is.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
He's got. It's like almost like you could almost be like a different hair color or something. But
nah, he's.
All right. No, it makes sense. He's got to be a ginger.
Oh, I'm choking on my Red Bull.
Good.
Why does everyone hate Red Bull?
I just drink coffee. That's all I do.
I don't drink. Well, I don't drink. I had coffee once in my life, and that's only because I didn't eat for 24 hours exactly.
I didn't drink coffee till like a year ago, and I can't imagine that like life without it now.
And it's the caffeine.
Like my problem like for years was just being tired and just starting the day, and then once I started drinking coffee, like now I don't have that problem anymore. I just drink coffee and I'm ready to do whatever. Yeah,
but what is whatever for you? You just...
I have a job now, dude. I'm working at Starbucks.
You've been there for like 2 weeks.
Dude, I'm still in training, but
exactly.
It's a job. You know what? I mean, I like these people. The work is like it keeps you busy, so it's not like the time's going by slow. I mean, I'm digging it.
It seems like a dumb job, though.
I mean, yeah, all jobs are dumb. I mean, any kind of retail or industry or any kind of counter job, I mean, it's all pretty stupid. But, you know, as long as you're busy and you're not just like, because I had some jobs that are just standing around for like hours doing nothing. It's awful, you know. But this one, there's always something to do. So, you know, you keep.
I always want to know about this. Why barista? Why not cashier?
You want to sound fancy, and you actually are making coffee. There is a bar, and you have to know how to make certain kinds of drinks, like know the difference between an espresso and an americano. And I'm learning about that right now. I've had like very little bar training.
God, dude, that is information that you're putting effort in that you will never use anywhere else. It's like majoring in philosophy.
I don't know. I'm trying to be a shift supervisor though, because you get more money. So why
don't you just devote to film and comedy? And
there's no money in that for me right now. I need to do stuff like this so I can have the money to devote in film and comedy.
Well, don't you live in Malibu?
Okay. I mean, my parents have money, but I don't have any money. I don't want to rely on them, you know. I feel bad asking them for money and taking their money, you know, especially...
Yeah, but Starbucks? You had to get a job at... I mean...
It's the only job I could get. I was applying for years, you know, just...
I know how hard... Yeah, I mean, I was unemployed for 2 years before I got the job that I have now.
I mean, the only reason I got the Starbucks job is because, you know, one of my friends knew, like, a manager.
That's the only way to do it. You have to network. But why don't you network at a job that's relevant, like...
I tried that. Like, when I got out of college, you know, like, my parents talked to, like, 8 people that are in the industry. They were all personal family friends, and none of them could get me a job.
Well...
It is what it is.
Yeah, I guess. That's pretty shady.
I mean, it's everyone. Like, just there's nobody's hiring. I'm still trying, you know, every day. I'm looking at the Craigslist and the other websites to see if any kind of film job's opening. Which is fine because I'm not as stressed about it because I have an actual job. So I can casually, like, oh, maybe I'll get this or maybe I can apply here. And if I do that, then, yeah, I'm given, you know, my 2 weeks of Starbucks. I'm going over to film, yeah.
Speaking of film, actually, dude, you know I'm getting into porn, right?
Nice. I did not, but that sounds awesome. Mm. You know, I worked on a porn.
Doing what? Were you a gaffer?
I worked on softcore porn. As a PA.
Ugh. Softcore porn is like it's like smelling cocaine without snorting it. What's the point?
I even know it was a softcore porn when I signed on to it. I just got this job at this production company, and I remember walking around the sets and noticing how crappy everything looked, and reading the script and saying, "Oh, this script!" Like part of the script, like, "Oh, this script is so bad." It's almost like a porn script. And everybody was, like, billing it as the new Sex in the City. And then one day I go into one of the backlots, and I see, you know, there they are, 2 people having softcore sex, which is, you know, it's humping, it's not penetration.
Mm-hmm. Or they use the fake penis.
Or the fake or whatever. But the funniest thing in the world is that during that scene that I walked into, the lights were clappers. So every time the guy smacked the girl in the ass, the lights would go off and back on. I thought that was the funniest shit I'd ever seen in my life.
That's pretty cute, actually. Can you find that on X Hamster?
It's it's on Cinemax. It's called the Zane Sex Chronicles.
So you can't find it on X Hamster.
I don't think it's on X.
I don't know Cinemax.
I'm on IMDb now because of that.
Really? Let me look that up right now.
You look at Matt Fazio, you'll see me in my credit for Zane Sex Chronicles.
That's pretty cool, actually. I'm actually looking into getting to, and I'm not really. I mean, I'm just. Weighing the options, but gay porn, because apparently it pays a lot.
And you're into that. I mean, you're into that, right?
I'm a perfect twink. I really am.
You're cool to fuck a guy or get fucked by a guy.
Well, it all depends.
Well, I mean, you can't be picky if you're going to be a porn star, dude.
Actually, you can. When you're
you got to at least make a successful porn before you become a porn star.
Who says? Well, did I say porn star?
I don't know. Okay, true. I did not know what you're saying.
So I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm wondering, did I actually say that?
You didn't actually say. Okay. You're right.
Yeah, I'm just.
I just assume you want to aim high. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I have a lot of respect for you, so I would think you would want to be the best gay porn actor that you could be.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, like.
If I was gonna do a gay porn, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking kick some ass here.
Wait a minute. Wait, okay, so I think I found you on.
Say Matt Fazio.
Yeah, no. Well, it has to say Matt Fazio.
I think it's Matt or Matthew Fazio.
For what was the movie?
Zane sex. Well, if you type in my name, Matthew Fazio, it should come up.
I did, and the movies I got are Killer Joke and Sex Chronicles.
Oh yeah, Killer Joke was my friend's student.
You know what? You know what, Fazio?
That's Damien's film.
You know what, Fazio? I'm gonna have to say this. I hate you.
Why?
There's two reasons why.
Okay.
Well, actually, there's three. One, you're white.
Yeah.
So
I get that one a lot.
You get everything you want.
Yeah.
Two, I lost to you. It took me 5 years to win. Three, you're on IMDb. Where the fuck am I? I'm nowhere.
You gotta do some kind of TV or like I'm a PA on my IMDb. I mean, whatever.
I'm not doing it.
I need to get some of my other stuff that I've done on IMDb. I worked on a Teen Choice Awards back in high school.
Ugh. I bet you're feeling the pain from that now.
I was inches away from Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom.
Ugh. Did you get herpes?
I don't know. The funniest part of that was that Snoop Dogg comes up on the stage to present some kind of award, and after he's done, he goes into the back, and he's by himself. He's kind of standing around, looking around. All of a sudden, he walks outside. It's out of nowhere. This fat lady comes in with like a PA system. And he's like, has anybody seen Snoop Dogg? And we're like, he just walked outside. He's like, listen, you cannot leave Snoop Dogg by himself. I repeat, you cannot leave Snoop Dogg out by himself. I'm like, holy shit, Snoop Dogg's high out of his goddamn mind. No, that's a fucking award. I just thought that was funny. He was so high that he had to have supervision constantly to make sure he didn't, kill himself.
It's so fucking stupid that you would put him on the or the kids' go fuck yourself.
I mean, I think that's like when like stuff like Starsky and Hutch was coming out. This was like years ago.
Oh God, people are so fucking. See, I don't want to work in Hollywood. I think Hollywood is it's a big flop of shit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to be on TV. I want to be on. If anything, I want to be on HBO. But
right.
You know, it's all horseshit. They just
they
take what you got. They decide what they want to do with it. And then either you do it or you're out of the business. And I'm like, like Patrice O'Neal had a saying about it. Hollywood is like, and I'm speaking vicariously. I don't know because I don't work in Hollywood, and I don't think I ever will. Yeah. But he said that it's like a roller coaster, and you wait in line for your chance to ride the roller coaster, and it's the greatest thing when you're riding that roller coaster. But that roller coaster ends, and then what do? Well, you get back in line for your next chance to ride the roller coaster. And it's like, really? That's what fame is? That's what success and entertainment is? That's horseshit. I don't want to do that.
You and me, we differ on this. Because for me, like, I do want to get into Hollywood, but not for the roller coaster, but just the chance to make the roller coaster, I guess. That's why I want to be in there, and I want to play all bullshit games.
With respect, I guess the money's good, but if I've been talking with my girlfriend a lot about it, and I think she's more open to the idea of me doing gay porn. If it's about money, I'm just gonna do it in gay porn. You know what I mean?
I mean, do you actually have it in, or is this just something you've been thinking about? Have you talked about any like actual gay porn people?
I'm not gonna name names for some reason, but I know someone who knows. Someone who's pretty into it, like is very serious about it, and
wow.
So if I can get a demo reel of me fucking a guy,
so you do have. I mean, please take this as a compliment.
Oh God,
that you have the right look for gay porn.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's a compliment. I already said before I said the statement, please take it as a compliment.
Well, what does that mean?
You're very pretty.
My eyelashes are too long.
You're very pretty. You wouldn't be the buff guy in a gay porn. You'd be the pretty, the kind of might look like a chick.
Yeah, I'm the twink.
That kind of gay porn.
I'm a twink. That's what it is. Yeah. But the thing is,
you joke about that on stage.
What?
You joke about that stuff on stage.
Yeah, but the thing is. Like, I don't know. I just don't want AIDS, just not AIDS.
Don't you have to wear condoms now? Well, that's only a certain part of California.
No, I don't. I mean, where I can get work, I think is San something, and it's not Bernardino.
Okay.
Some. Oh God, I don't. It's not Van Nuys because that's where the big shots go.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere else, and it's the only place where I could get work.
The valley in general is just kind of like
San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, that's the porn capital, right?
Well, I don't know about all that, but
I don't know, but somewhere in the valley, there's like the porn capital.
My biggest fear is the drugs, though. Like, I don't want to be surrounded by that.
I saw Boogie Nights. I mean,
I've never seen it, but
okay, if you're going to be in the porn industry, then you should watch Boogie Nights. That's a great movie.
I'd rather not, but I'm sure
it really is. It's Paul Thomas Anderson film. It's really good.
Oh well, that means nothing to me. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't have the attention span for movies. I really don't. I don't watch movies.
I love movies, dude. That's all I do is watch.
I know,
movies.
that's why you have the podcast with Damien, which, by the way, you should mention. What is it again?
Well, we haven't done one in a while, but we don't have a title for it either. But we have a podcast, and I'm sure you know when we get one, I'll send it to you, and you can link it out to your subscribers and your followers whenever we do them, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, absolutely. For all of my 8 people who are subscribing, but don't check their YouTubes.
I'm supposed to be moving in with Damien like 3 or 4 months. He's going to come down to L.A. We're going to get an apartment, so that'll be fun.
But isn't he getting married? That's going to be awkward.
He got engaged, but he said he's not going to get married for a few years.
What's the point then?
He just wants to show commitment.
Ugh. Okay, God bless him, but ugh. Commitment, ugh.
I mean, he understands. Like, he's not just going to get married because he's not financially, able to support her or anything like that. He's just not making the money for it. But we're going to try and save up some money, get an apartment, and then from there, I think we'll just be working nonstop because, like, we kind of edge each other on. Like, when we're not working, we kind of force the other to be productive. We kind of we build well off each other, which is why I like doing these podcasts with them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, obviously we go nowhere.
Hey, we have these fun. I've done more podcasts with you than Damien, so that's saying something.
Yeah, but I'm like a brick of I'm like I don't know, a 3x3 cubic millimeter of dark matter, and no matter what you put me in, I make it sink.
Oh, hey, I wrote you a joke.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that. Go ahead and say it. I'll pay you. I'll pay you the PayPal, and I'll say it at Fanime.
Okay, so I just want to point out, I thought of this joke when I was.
Actually, wait. Let me stop you. Can I just give you $5 at Fanime?
Sure.
All right, just in cash.
Okay, so this is a $5 value of a joke.
Yeah, I bought this joke.
So think about that. This is what $5 is going to get you.
Yeah,
I think it's worth every penny of that. I wrote the joke when I was on Ambien trying to sleep because I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to open up Starbucks on a Wednesday, and here's a joke. It's kind of short. You can tell me if it's funny or not. I think, and maybe it's in the delivery. But here's the joke. It's short. You go up on the stage, you do your little act or whatever, you get them in the mood, and you go, I wanna make a meth lab. Not for the money or anything, but I just need something to do with my kid.
That's a good one. I like that.
And the closer is you go, Daddy, that pixie stick factory you got me is amazing.
That is funny, but that's not something I would say.
Okay, well, you didn't say that part.
Yeah, that last part is not.
You don't have to say the last part. You can say the first part.
That's actually, that works out perfectly with a joke that I just came up with recently that I'm trying to squeeze into my extra Fanime. That's actually, I don't know if it's worth $5, but
Hey, that is that is a $6 joke at least.
It's like $1.25, but I made a verbal agreement, and it's in, so
if you give me $10, next time I'll write you.
I'm not giving you $10.
Twice the funny.
I'm not giving you. First of all, I'm not going to be one of those guys that. George Carlin earned the right to have people work for him. I'm not George. I'm not there yet. I'm not going to pay people to write my jokes, but that was actually pretty funny because I had another joke that that joke leads into a great joke about what I had was I'm not even going to do it in proper cadence or anything because it's a prototype, but so I had two kids once, just once. I had them once. What actually happened was I met a girl and I fell in love and I thought I was going to get married with her and going to adopt the kids, but then 9 months later I realized that we hated each other, so now I don't have kids. So
I knew because I remember you telling me that you did have kids. So
yeah,
I thought,
they were going to be adopted.
Funny.
That's all based off of truth.
Yeah.
The funniest jokes, and they do say that the funniest jokes are real, or maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. They're for me, anyways.
They usually are. Based off something that happened to you. I'm glad you liked the joke, though.
It's a good thing it's recorded because I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't lose the footage. Holy shit, it's 1:17 already? We've been recording for how long?
About 50 minutes.
15?
50.
Oh. Alright, let's get back to this whole... Okay, my girlfriend is out in New York right now, and she's going to some Albany convention where Uncle Yo, the venerable, the respectable,
the world famous Uncle Yo,
the world famous Uncle Yo. First of all, why would you call yourself an uncle? I mean, aren't uncles notorious for raping nephews?
I feel like Jackie Chan Adventures made that popular for nerds.
Did it? Is that what?
What's the other explanation? I mean, Uncle was pretty funny on Jackie Chan, so
yeah, I didn't watch that stupid cartoon. I'd rather.
I watched. That was my favorite show, dude.
I didn't.
Loved it.
I'm also.
It's so stupid. It's so formulaic, but I fucking love it.
I'm older than everyone that I know, apparently. So.
I'm 23.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm. When people find out how old I actually am, it's like they don't believe me.
Because you look good for your age.
Stop. I mean, don't say that. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that to me. Don't say that to me.
I won't say that.
Please, thank you.
I'll let the gay porn stars say that.
I would rather that. I really would. Here's the thing.
I think you're gonna get really popular in porn. I really do.
You know what?
I think there's something there.
You know what? I accept it. I would embrace that as long as I don't get hemorrhoids.
I think you just do a whole fucking routine while you're fucking some guy. Let's do all your angry hate shit. That'd be the funniest porn in the world.
That would be avant-garde. That would be pretty funny.
That would be funny.
But yeah, you know what? That is actually a good idea. I don't need to be in porn to do that. I can just find someone and do it.
Has there ever been a porno about a stand-up comedian? There must have been, right?
Probably, but not to my knowledge.
We gotta make it, dude.
We?
Hey, you're gonna need someone to film this, all right? And I have a film degree.
Yeah, I don't know if I want you. It's like, I don't know. You're too close. I don't want you seeing my skivvies.
That's probably true. I'll agree with that.
I mean?
We shared a room together.
Yeah, you heard everything in that bathroom. So it's like no. I appreciate. Maybe you can help me rent the equipment, but that's actually a really good idea. I should pursue that. I don't know.
I'm not going to give you any money for this, as much as I.
Money for what?
I mean, we rent the equipment. I can tell you what to get. I mean, I think any guy.
No, I wouldn't even pay for it. You got to get sponsors.
Right.
What do you think? I'm an idiot? Why would I pay for?
I don't know how you're doing this gay porn.
Well, the gay porn thing, that's different. You create a demo reel. You whore yourself out. That was actually not a pun. But you don't fucking pay for it. Why would you pay to go to work? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
You should have a gay porn of stand-up comedy where you're fucking.
There's actually. Go on.
I'm saying you're fucking porno versions of famous comedians.
No, that's too gimmicky.
Those are the most popular ones, the gimmicky porns.
Well, I don't want to be the most popular one. I want to be the most respected one, for being honest. But
okay, you want the most respected gay porn? You know, I'm feeling you. What would your gay porn be? If you had to have being like the perfect gay porn, what would it just be? Would it have a story? Would it just be you fucking some guy?
No, definitely have a story. I actually the 3 movies that I want to film with my girlfriend are the porns with stories. And
I think that's the best one. Those always make me the most hard. I don't know why. When there's like a plot behind the lesbians, you know, I'm really into that.
That's what I want to film, you know, on my own. But in the industry itself, like when I'm going in there, like I imagine, I don't want to bear, like the whole, like I don't like big guys. I don't like big, muscular, or just kind of, you know, twice my size, because it just makes me want to fight them.
That's only one part of the gay porn industry. There is a softer.
I know, but another thing is, I don't like faggots. You know, I don't like other. I don't like other.
I want to do gay porn, but I don't like faggots.
But it's true. It's like, here's the thing. I want to fuck someone like me. You know, who's like a dude
who hates everyone.
No. It's like, you can be gay without being a faggot. You know, just a dude, and that's the kind of shit I'm okay with. But like when you watch twink porn, it's like everyone's got this stupid emu, and don't correct me. I said emu on purpose because they're a species that should be going extinct in the next 10 years. But they got this shitty haircut. They're prancing around as if they're a woman, but you're not a woman. Don't try to be one. Be a dude that's into dudes.
It sounds like yaoi, where it's really, because they're also, yaoi's even funny because they're all drawn, so until they take off their clothes, they could essentially be chicks. Mm-hmm. You know, you have no fucking idea. But
I'm cool with that too, also. I mean, I'm fine with doing that, but I don't want to make my career in porn off of that. You
want to be respected, win awards.
No, I don't want to. Well, it would be nice to win a Woody.
Yeah, is that a real thing, or did Family Guy make it up?
Family Guy make it up. No, I think it actually is real. I think it actually is. There are porn awards, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they have a porn. Yeah.
The thing is, though, for gay porn, I mean, for me personally, there's got to be. I can't take it up the ass too much because I don't want to visit the doctor every month to get my perforated rectum sewn back in.
Is that the most popular?
Yes.
Gay would be the ass fucking?
No, not for gay. That's just in general. So many actors go through. Women, they go through that.
See, I never thought that was attractive. I mean, maybe it's just the ass just scares me. You know, it's a terrifying thing. I don't even want to look at it.
You never had anal with a woman?
No.
Really?
I will never fuck a girl in the ass.
Dude, why not? What's wrong with you?
I just know I'm gonna get shit on my dick.
It's only if you hit the button, and it's only if
Okay, now I'm definitely never having anal sex.
There is a method to do it right, and
I'm not there.
Dude,
sorry, future wife of Fazio. I'm not gonna fuck you in the ass. We're gonna have to find a way around that.
I'm sure she would probably be grateful for that.
And she's probably listening to this podcast.
Really, you think it's one of my 8 subscribers?
Well, one of them. The one girl is a lesbian that we mentioned, so it's probably not that.
Dude, I've mentioned this so many times, and you know what? I'm gonna be classy. I'm gonna take the high road and not get into this. So let's keep it classy.
I'm just saying that I'm not into that anal sex.
Dude, well, I completely am. But you can't do that on a weekly basis, and I'm not gonna do that on a weekly basis. That's like a once in a 3-month kind of treat, you know, maybe.
So what are you doing? Are you just gonna be fucking dudes then? The other one?
No. See, like I've actually, you know, I've had boyfriends and stuff, and contrary to popular belief, a lot of gay men don't really do that at all.
I've always wondered about that because from what I understand, there are pleasure sensors in the asshole. Like obviously, I mean,
the prostate.
not as much as like the vagina.
Well, dude. First of all, if you've never hit your button when you've masturbated, you've never masturbated. If you don't know where your button is, you better fucking find it. You don't even have to finger your booty. You don't have to. There's a spot in the taint that you can hit, and you can feel it when you're beating your meat. And I know this is a little crude for some of the people out there, but this is honest. If you're a guy and listen to this, I'm telling you, there's a spot in the taint. You can feel it pulsing, and if you press down on it when you're beating your meat, I swear to God, you will never not do that again.
Like, yeah, no, I'm with you, because there's definitely better moments when I'm masturbating where it feels so much better than just other times. But so you hit something or you do something different.
It's the prostate. It's the prostate. That's what it is. Yeah. And it's awesome. But my point is, a lot of gay men, there's a good amount that don't do that. And in every gay relationship I was in, that never happened. I've only ever fucked women in the ass. I've never fucked a man.
So do you guys just like suck each other off or jerk it out?
There's that, and somehow it's more intimate when you're with another man, because if you don't do that, you have to really like be into them and like
69 or something.
No, not even that. Just I don't know. Have you ever had a makeout session with a broad that made you like pre-cum all over her?
Yeah.
It's like that, except every single time. That's what it's like.
Wow.
And it's like, that's the thing that statistically you can't really take what is the word, a survey on successful gay marriages, but popular opinion suggests that they last forever, and there's a reason for that. And I just explained it to you. When you're into a dude that you don't want to fuck in the ass, it's like this spiritual thing. It's really weird, and it's
because it becomes more than just like attraction.
Absolutely,
maybe?
It's more than just physical stuff. And plus, there's tons of other things you can do. Like, this might sound gross to some people, but tossing the salad is fucking awesome. If you've never had,
what does that mean? Like throwing up?
No, it means a rim job. You know what a rim job is?
Is that jerking off?
Oh, Jesus Christ! How many women have you fucked?
3.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not laughing at you.
I've only had 2 girlfriends too, so.
Excuse me. It's when someone licks your ass or when you're licking someone's ass.
So again, this is all ass stuff, which I stay away from.
No, dude. Okay.
See, that's definitely like if I'm not gonna put my dick, I ain't gonna put my mouth in there.
Well, I'm not saying you have to do it. Here's what I'm saying. The first time I ever, and this is the podcast. We're getting into it now. This is the real shit. So the subscribers who are listening to this is how it really is.
You're getting your money's worth now.
I've been working up to get to this level for so long, and now that I don't care, because I'm not concerned. Okay, the first time I ever had my ass licked, it was by a woman. She didn't ask me. I'll never forget it. There was like this really weird Chinese music in the background. It was really, and there was like incense, which I hated, and it was like 4 a.m. I was dead tired, and just like she was just blowing me, and I was like, okay, let me go to sleep with your mouth on my cock. And then suddenly my legs are in my shoulders, and her tongue is in my asshole, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm awake now. I'm telling you, if you can find a woman that will do that to you, let her do it. Give it a shot, man. It is fucking awesome. I'm telling you. And that's the kind of things that, a gay couple can do with each other. More,
yeah.
Because, putting a dick in the asshole is just like, ugh. Really? Is that all there is to it? Because there isn't. There's so much more. There's so much more. Now, notice, not to discredit anal sex. I love fucking women in the ass. But I don't really, I would fuck a dude in the ass because you can give him, you couldn't call that a rusty trombone. That would be like a mega trombone. You know what a rusty trombone is, right? Oh, Jesus. Do you know anything about...
No.
Okay. A rusty trombone is basically...
Are you forgetting how white and nerdy I am?
Well, okay, anyways, a rusty trombone, for anyone who doesn't know, and my listeners should know because they're all yaoi people, which means they're perverts, and I love you guys, but it's basically, you're giving a rim job while jacking them off. So, that's... You know what? We're moving on. Because you just... I mean, I need to talk to someone who gets it, and this isn't your field, you know. This is.
I really don't know anything about gay sex or yaoi. I apologize on behalf of your listeners. I don't know what goes on in that stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure.
I've never really been that interested.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
I respect the hell out of it. Like,
don't respect
I think it's awesome that you're going to be in gay porn. I think that's awesome and hilarious at the same time. You know, so.
I've actually, speaking of which, like, I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. It's probably not going to happen. But I've actually been toning up just in case. So, like...
if it keeps you in shape, then, you know, that's something good.
My torso has, like, the only reason why I never take my shirt off for, like, the yaoi events is because I have scars all over my chest, which is probably going to be a hindrance. But... like I've got like this all these.
Well, that kind of narrows the amount of porn that you can do, or at least the type of porn.
Well, I'll be typecast into kind of the badass twink. I'll be like Snake. You know what I mean? Like
they talk like that in gay porn.
No, they don't. But I'll be like the guy, the faggot with the switchblade. You know, this is like
yeah. I have this idea of like what gay porn must be just from the thumbnails that I passed through to get to the lesbian stuff because that shit's hot.
Ugh.
But
you know, that's the funny thing is I can't stand that. It's like what are you doing? All you're doing is bumping titties.
So that's what I like about it is that there's just titties everywhere. You don't have to worry about like getting cut to like a close up of a dick or something.
I don't know. And maybe it's because I don't mind that. I don't know.
And most people just watch straight porn, and I like that too.
I mean, I like bestiality personally. I mean, if you get a good dog in there.
They call me the My Little Pony freak. Yeah.
No.
They get the right dog too. You know, you get like a Rottweiler or something. When you see a pug, you're just like, fuck that shit. That is some bullshit bestiality. I'm gonna get a real man's dog in that shit.
I'm so glad I said that. You know, actually, this is what the podcast is all about, being completely honest. Now, I'm not saying
talking about dog sex.
I don't like that. But here, on that point, let me tell you something. I had a girlfriend who was not really a girlfriend, but
a girl you fucked.
No, I didn't fuck her. I never did.
A girl you know.
No, never fucked her. But she was into me so much that she told me that she would fuck my corpse. which it sounds weird, but at the same time...
I'm sure she said it very sweetly.
No, she didn't. It's somehow that is so...
She gave you a flower while she said it, you know.
First of all...
I wish you were like about to fall asleep when she said something like that, because that would be the fun. Like right before you go to sleep, like, I would fuck your corpse, and you're just like, what?
No, it's weird, but at the same time, that is like the most flattering thing I've ever been told.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I would fuck your dead body. I was like, really? You really would?
That's the most flattering thing that's ever been.
Because it's so out there. It's so beyond the realm of healthy.
It sounds like
that's beyond eating.
It's like
your
that over obsessed girlfriend meme or whatever. It sounds like something you'd see on a picture tagline.
Maybe, I don't know, but that is. That flattered the hell out of me after I got over the what the fuck is wrong with you, you dumb broad? But I don't know. Look, the few listeners that I have, you guys are learning. I'm a fucking freak, all right? I'm a freak in nature. I'm a fucking mutant. I belong in the X-Men.
Your power is
freaky sex.
It's freaky stuff. You just kind of you just say stuff and it like freaks them out. And Magneto gives up.
I can't be with a girl. I can't be with a girl that won't let me piss on her. I just can't. I just can't do it. You know. Dude, you need to like branch out.
I do.
You really do. You've missed. I'm not saying shit. But
for me, like the times like I get a girl like I'm with a girl or like so like specific. Like there's very big chunks where like I won't be seeing a girl, and then when I am seeing a girl, that I kind of just enjoy it when it's happening. You know.
Yeah, but See, maybe that's
the thing. I'm not picky. I'm not gonna fucking sell myself short just because I'm lonely or some shit like that. I'm not gonna do that. Because I have more respect in myself for that. I guess I just look for different things in girls than you do.
Yeah, the thing is, everything works. Everything works for itself. Like every fairly, because successful relationship is better than I am.
Yeah.
But every fairly successful relationship I've had, the broad has been out of her mind, and not necessarily out of her mind like I'm gonna stab you if you leave me, but out of her mind like, oh, you want to piss on me? Oh, cool. I'll do it on you.
I mean, that's what works really well for you, and that's that's kind of what you look for.
I don't look for it. That's the
thing. Or
those
are the ones that have. But those are the positives.
That's what. That's what it comes together with me. Like, first of all, I never hit on women intentionally. Every woman I've ever dated.
Well, they say that's the best way to do it, or something. You gotta not hit on the woman to hit on. There's the bullshit game shit that they talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have game. I don't know how to flirt, but
You seem to be doing a pretty good job of getting the chicks. No,
that's my point. Every woman I've ever had has come to me, and it's like something about me that draws in these freaky people, and it works because that's what I like. So I'm like the lantern waiting for the moth. That's all it is, and I just burn bright. And if I'm not getting enough moths, I just burn brighter.
See, I kind of the opposite problem where the girls that I do attract are ones that I'm not really into, because my problem is I'm nice to everybody, because I'll talk to people that other people won't talk to just because I'm a nice guy, and sometimes chicks will come up to me that way, and believe it or not, I've had moments where I could have fucked a chick or like dated a chick or something. And I chose not to because I wasn't into them. But these chicks that will come up to me that are like, something about their personality that some of these chicks were cute too, but just their personality just, really rubbed me the wrong way. Where I just if I'm getting with this chick, I would be annoyed 24/7. I just couldn't do that.
Well, if you know where it's going ahead of time, you're saving yourself time.
I'm lucky that I have enough foresight to that where I'm not thinking, oh, maybe it'll get better. Like, no, if it's bad now, it's going to get worse. I understand, what it's going to work. I don't feel like I have that many qualifications for a girl. The one thing I have, honestly, what I think is really sexy is if a girl can make me laugh. That's really sexy to me. A girl that actually says a joke that's genuinely funny. Mm-hmm. For me, it seems like it's so hard for me to find. Because most of the time I talk to a girl and they'll make a joke and I want to kill myself. I'm like, God, that was why would you say that? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. And that turns me off. Some guys, the dumb chick that makes dumb jokes. Some guys are into the dumb chicks. I don't know. I like smart chicks.
Me too. And a lot of smart chicks are freaks. And that's
I would believe that.
It works out for me.
Honestly, if I had a chick that I was that into, I'd be open to experiment with weird shit. But I haven't been that open with the chick.
I would suggest against experimenting. It's like from the start what you want, and it's like you're not going to be pissed on and suddenly be like, wow, what have I been missing? It's a carnal urge.
I think the same. I think it's a give and take where if a chick, wants you to do something, it's like fine. Well, then you can do something for me. I think there's got to be a balance there. Even something just basically oh, you're hey, you're gonna give me a blowjob, sure, I'll eat you out. Some kind of balance like that.
But you gotta
everybody gets what they want.
But in my opinion, everyone has to enjoy everything they're doing. So if someone's gonna give me head, they gotta enjoy doing it. And if I'm gonna go down on a broad, she better not taste like spaghetti.
Well, does anybody I don't enjoy eating out a chick, but I do it because of the love or whatever.
Well, maybe you haven't found a nice cunt to eat. Listen, I'm not trying to sound like a whore, but
I love blowjobs. Just gonna point that out.
Apparently you haven't had enough bad ones. Dude, I remember I remember my first BJ, and it was so boring that I ended up calculating pi in my head just to
see. I did. That's always really embarrassing when you're getting a blowjob and you're not coming. That's you always feel like that, like, oh shit, I should be doing something right now.
A lot of broads, you know, they don't know how to. They're broads. They don't know what they're doing. I mean,
right.
See, that's where the whole connection of a relationship comes in, because then you can talk and you can open up with them. And
yeah, I think that's really important. That, you know, when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't just like automatically assume that you're going to get it right the first. Because generally, you're probably not going to get it right the first time. You know, it's by communicating and figuring out like what works and what doesn't that you're going to have a great sexual relationship.
But then some people are just good at head.
It's true love.
Some people, nah. That's just a good time.
Really, it's just, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's always. But I'm talking about if you're gonna be in a relationship with a chick, at least for like a while, you know, like a year or something like that. You're gonna be dating somebody. You know, you gotta have communication.
It's my biggest concern about the gay porn thing is the diseases, because I know that's mandatory 3 months to get checked. It's not enough for me. I need like mandatory 3 days. You know, and I don't know how to circumvent that, because I'm not about to get herpes. I'm not about to get that. I don't know. It's a risk, but it seems like it'd be hella fun. Oh, did my NorCal accent just come out there? Holy shit, that was embarrassing.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. But dude, being pissed on is awesome. Like I'm in the water.
See, that's not that anything that comes out of your body. It's like I got like Howard Hughes or disease or something. I swear.
You never had a girl squirt on you?
No.
Oh, dude. Blood. You know, yeah, just being demeaned, people spitting. I mean, just all sorts of crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo.
No, I don't fucking know. That's I feel like that's stuff between you and God, man.
Well, lucky for me, there's no God in my world.
That's what it is. I don't even really fucking. I'm practically an atheist, and I still fucking say shit like that. You know.
No, wait a minute. You know, that's a good topic. Do you believe in God?
I feel like I kind of have to, just from I was just raised Catholic. It's hard to, when you're raised Catholic, it's hard to completely get rid of it. People say like they do, but when you go to Catholic school and you go to church and you get confirmation like I did, it always kind of sits with you. Even though like you kind of, I don't want to say get smart, I don't want to, you know, because I think there's a lot of good that religion does along with that. But it's like,
I got to stop you there. I'm going to disagree with you. I did every one of those things, and it means nothing to me.
But at the same time, like I still like find myself saying like Jesus Christ when I'm mad, or like oh God, you know, I still find myself like thinking in that way, even though I like my thing is that you know I don't think I'm an atheist. I'm what do they call that? Agnostic. Because I think for me like there's just so many religions out there, and they're all great, and they all have historical significance, and they're all have these moral systems. Well, who am I to say whether one is the right one, or who am I to say that Catholic is right over Buddhism or Hinduism or something? I have no right to say that, but at the same time, just when I think about religion, like instantly the first thing that pops into my head is God or Jesus, because that's just how I raised, and that's the Freudian whatever that I'm just gonna have to deal with for and I'm fine with that. Like I'm not like oh my God, fuck Jesus, or I don't really care. It's whatever works.
You say who am I to judge and all that stuff. I judge for me, and that shit ain't for me. It ain't real to me.
I feel like there's a lot good that religion does, though. And I can't, because I hear people that say, like, their lives would have been nothing without God. They say, like, God helped them in all this. And not just, like, crazy religious people that say, like, normal people that said, like, God helped me do this. And, like, great. I mean, if that's what works for you, then absolutely pursue it.
Yeah, and on the flip side, the people who it means nothing to, they don't get any praise either, It's right. Like, Patton Oswalt had a joke about it. He says, addicts and drug people who go to recovery, they get all this praise. Young people who have kids and then, they work with it and they go with it, they get, he's toughing it out. People who don't become addicts and don't get knocked up when they're 17, Nicole, where's our praise? You know what I mean? Nobody cares about people that did it right. It's the same thing with the whole Jesus thing. It's like, it means nothing to me, so what? Just fuck me?
Because we like a good story.
I have a good story. I was raped a couple of times.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you moved on from it, so that's a good story. You don't tell people that story.
I didn't find Jesus, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody does. I mean, you don't have to find Jesus, but if you do, like, I'm not going to criticize you and say, oh, you believe in God, God doesn't exist. Like, I don't fucking care what you believe in. You know, like, if that's what works for you, then go ahead and do it. I do think it's important to believe in something. That doesn't have to be a religious thing or a God or anything, but to have some, even if you just believe in yourself or believe in like a goal or something, I think that's important for people. Because I feel like if you don't believe in something or believe in something to do or some kind of whatever, then you're not going to do anything in your life.
Yeah, and you see, I'm on the opposite edge. Because I don't care. Like I want to.
You believe in. I mean, you at least believe in your comedy to some extent.
Well, define believe.
Well, I mean,
what is that? What is that?
I mean, you have confidence in your comedy, and you feel like that.
No, I don't.
Do it.
I don't have confidence. I make jokes.
I think you do. I mean, you just say it, but I think you do. I mean, you have to. Just from what I've seen, talk about. I know you care about comedy. I mean, you can bullshit and say, I know you care about comedy.
Yeah, I care about it, but that has nothing to do with being confident about it. I have no confidence in the jokes that I say. I say the jokes for me, and I hope people tag along. That's how it works.
That's a different kind of confidence. I don't know. Maybe confidence isn't the right word, but it's a belief system. You know, you are entering in a belief there where you're just kind of. I mean, it kind of sounds like a faith-based way of doing comedy. You just kind of throw out there and see how it works. I mean, that sounds like faith to me.
Well, I'm not throwing anything. It's not faith. If it doesn't make me laugh, I'm not going to say it. And the way I see it is, I'm going to say what I think. See,
there, you believe the joke is funny because it made you laugh. I mean, still, there's some kind of something happened there. There's something happening there. I mean, I may be trying to be more.
I think you're drawing straws.
Theological. I mean, I'm drawing straws. I agree. Absolutely am. But I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. Everything's not cut and dry, I guess.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I have a different way of thinking, and it's partially the mental illness. But I just came across something.
We all got mental illnesses. You know.
Well, not everybody. And I mean, most people don't have dissociative disorders. But I came across something on Facebook. Anything promotional, like anything that wants to make you feel better about yourself, I just fucking hate.
Yeah, those like fortune cookie shit that you see on Facebook.
Let me read this to everyone. The quote is, "Never sacrifice who you are just because someone has a problem with it." It just pisses me. First of all, nobody knows who they are. If you're reading that, you don't know who you are. I'm just saying that. If you're reading that shit and it hits you, you have no fucking idea who you are. You're a nothing. You're some, no disrespect, you're some barista that only fucked a couple of broads, and it was probably an accident. It was the wrong hole. I just notice. I'm not even trying to insult you. I'm just doing this for comedic effect. But that kind of horse shit. I mean, what is that? Fuck you. Just because someone has a problem with it. You know what? I have a problem with that quote. So fuck you. You know what I mean? Just shut up. Everyone has their uplifting message. My uplifting message is a chainsaw with a full tank of gas.
You know, with messages like that, I always like to think of the extremes. Like, don't sacrifice something of yourself. Like, okay, well, I'll continue being racist. Thank you. All right, you know, like
that's a good point.
That statement doesn't make any sense. I see what they're trying to say. It's like, oh, you know, don't sacrifice your love. What if you really like killing Jews?
Exactly.
You know, like, then fuck. Well, I'm not going to sacrifice that. You're
absolutely on point there. It's not the only thing that isn't preached in popular culture is reason, balance, and reason.
Yeah, I'm even using like extreme examples. Maybe it's like, okay, I will continue to tailgate people. You know, like maybe that's your personality.
But your extreme examples are just as valid, and they're neglected because it sounds prettier to say never sacrifice who you are. It's like justifying fat people for being fat because they don't know how to lose the weight. It's like you shouldn't. Don't embrace your fatness. Just drop the weight.
See, the problem is when people use quotes like that to justify doing the stupid bullshit that they were doing from the beginning. And that's really dangerous when they read some kind of quote where it's just like, you're perfect just the way you are. It's like, well, then I'll continue eating chocolate cake every day. Like, no, clearly you're not perfect. I mean, you're fucking 500 pounds and you're miserable. You know, like, there's no fucking Adele song that's going to make you skinny.
Yeah,
all right?
Fuck her. Her and her stupid... She looks like she got smashed with a battle axe on her chin, but the axe was really dull, and it didn't quite make it.
I hate her music.
I hate her face. Fucking cunt. But anyways, it's just like balance. We just balance and be reasonable. It's like, you know what? Like I learned this last weekend when I, you know, kind of overstepped my boundaries, I guess, and I got kicked out of the Hard Rock Cafe. I mean,
well, you were just playing music there. How'd you get kicked out?
I called somebody a lesbian.
Okay.
And you know, I didn't think that was an insult. Here's the thing.
That might be a compliment to some people.
I mean, that's not necessarily an insult. If you take that offensively, maybe you're the asshole. You know what I mean? And how do you... Getting reprimanded for calling someone gay in San Francisco is like getting kicked out of a Nazi museum because your shirt is swastikas too big or something. It baffled my mind. You know, and you know, they let me back in, you know, because they didn't lock the door. These are all actually jokes that I'm gonna say at some point, but I'm just saying people need to have a balance. You know, maybe what you're doing isn't right for the situation, and maybe sometimes you have to shut the fuck up. I don't know, you know.
No, but what I think it is whatever it takes to get somebody to not sit on their ass and waste their life away. Whatever makes them not do that and actually make them do what they want to do, and that's the right advice. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It's not going to work for everybody, but whatever you can say to somebody that stops them from going, hey, maybe I should stop doing my shitty office job and do whatever it takes to get you to that point, and that's good advice.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, and the only reason is because I'm selfish. And yeah. I like, first of all, I like when people they accept they indirectly accept their worthlessness in life. They become a cog in the machine that is America.
See, this is the big difference between you and me, is that I'm much more positive. You know, I don't think you have to be really good at whatever it is that you want to do. Like, as long as you're happy. Like, you could be the worst thing in the world, but if seeing makes you happy, then fucking go for it.
But my point is, the more drones that exist, the less competition you have, and the easier it is to stand out.
See, I'm the difference. I really like competition. For me, like, I like beating, you know, the best. Like, I like...
Well, so do I. But I also like stepping on the ants.
For me, like, whenever I see a comic or just anybody that's doing that, I always try to help them out to make them the best they can be. Because for me, that's really strong. When people are at their best, I feel like I'm at my best. So I always want to help people out.
Yeah, I'm also... I like the chaos thing. I like creating chaos. I like when people are miserable. It makes me happy. When people suffer, when people like when I'm bombing, and being heckled is when I'm happy, because then it's giving me free license to kill.
And I like it when everyone's happy.
I don't.
I like being nice to people, entertaining people. That's why I do comedy. You know, like I say nice. It's because I want to be an artist or give I just like to make people happy. I like to entertain. I like to be like a fool or a jokester on stage, and you know, I like that shit. I like when people are feeling good, I feel good. You know, I'm okay being the butt of the jokes, you know, to make them feel better, because I know I'm fucking better than these people. Fucking, you know.
Yeah, I see, and this is a good point, because there's different approaches and different motivations for comedy. But that's not my motivation. My motivation is to.
And there's a lot of people like your motivation to make the hate. We see comics like that, like Bill Burr, who love fucking making people like hate them and shit like that.
It's not necessarily that for me. I want people to hate. I want people to critique themselves. I want them to look at what they like and really say, is this worth it? And it's like it's like a very dickish Zen philosophy.
It's confrontational.
I guess.
In a certain way. And I agree with you. Because I think getting people to, agree with a certain way, make them think. So I like to think the best jokes that I write, I feel like they do that inadvertently, where I'll make myself again as this kind of full character in order for the audience to realize that what I'm saying is wrong. Kind of like what Stephen Colbert does on his show.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole different realm that, that's not something I could ever do. It's on to the point of making people happy. I don't intend to make people happy, but I want them to be happy, but that's not what I'm trying to do.
You want them laughing.
Yeah, and I want them to think, and I want them to be happy, but that's not what I set out to do. I set out to tell jokes to try to make them... Like, ALA, disregard that, I bombed. I wasn't trying to make people think. But most of the time I try to, and when people come up to me after shows and say how much they enjoyed me, I'm nice. I'm all hugs and kisses and smiles and love. It's just not on stage. Am I making sense? I mean, it's getting
well, I mean, you know me. I'm not who I am on stage. It's more of an extreme version of me. But you can talk to me like a normal person. I'll have a conversation with you. So that's at least a difference between the character that I portray on stage. Who looks like he's about to snap any goddamn second.
It's funny. My girlfriend, 'cause I've been with her off and on for 8 years, and years ago, at one of the LCSs, a handful of guys came up to me in sequence, and she was like, "I think that dude likes you," but it's like, no, he doesn't. He's straight. I think so many dudes get man crushes on me, and it's the weirdest thing. And it's funny because when people come up to me after a set, I become this like demure, shy faggot, and it's kind of embarrassing because
that's very attractive.
It's embarrassing unless they say something stupid that brings out the claws, if you want to put it in a faggy way.
Yeah.
I'm such a bitch. I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, I love you too. It's just so faggy. It's just I feel horrible about myself when people tell me they love me. Because I become such a bitch.
That's all you do. That's all whatever you're doing, so.
Yeah, I'm a bitch. But, I don't know, you have anything more to discuss?
I don't know, I was thinking about,
tapping out?
We're talking about comedy.
Oh, well, yeah, because I just gotta piss.
Let's give me like a couple minutes and then we can end this.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking.
We can do another one tomorrow because I'm not going to be out in the Hard Rock as long as I was before, and I'm not getting drunk.
Yeah, tomorrow. I'm not doing anything tomorrow, so that's. I'm just thinking of any kind of final statement I want to make here because we are talking about comedy technique now, which is what I've always been interested in, and what I always try to, I guess, when I pursue, whenever I'm trying to think about like what am I doing right and wrong, and hearing you talk about how you do your comedy is always interesting to me because it's so different from how I think about comedy, like why I do comedy. Because you say like you prepare, like you want this certain hate, but you also want like them to think, and you want this this certain response. And I guess just for me, like I just like being a goof. I guess I just like to think of weird things that just sound funny to me. And just throw them out on stage and I think it's like fucking around, I guess. That's why I do the improv. That's why I try to keep it spontaneous because I don't want it to be like work or a job. Like I want comedy to be fun for me because I feel like if it's fun for me, then it's fun for the audience. I never want to get to that point where like I get like too stressed out about it or I get too snobbish about comedy. And I fear that, and sometimes I feel that. Where I'm getting like, a big head or I'm getting, self-concerned about like what's right comedy, what's wrong comedy. When I think what I really need to do is just, go back to why I first started doing comedy is because I wanted to tell dumb jokes and, hope that people laughed at it. And I guess that's the mentality that I try to keep on stage when I'm doing my act.
Yeah, that works for you, and that's the whole point. People need to discover what they are and what. It
takes years. Them. Like that's why I can't give Trung too hard of a time, because I know he's learning. Like again, like I said, like this last year, 2012 was just me spent just figuring like what I want to do in comedy, and I feel like I'm closer now, where I can have funny sets again. But for a while I was like struggling, just like what do I want to do, and I feel better now that I kind of have at least a goal, or at least have an idea of what I know works and what I know that I want to do. Because it's always a combination of not just jokes that work, but it's got to be stuff that you want to do. I think that's a little bit more important than just telling jokes that work. And for me, it was finding that balance of telling stuff that I wanted to tell and have fun doing it. I think I'm getting closer to that now, where I can start having good sets again.
On that point, I think the biggest reason why I have any fans at all is because I don't do what works. My way of thinking is not normal, and to bring that out in public is a risk. It's a huge risk, and it alienates me from a lot of people.
But it does work in its own way, where the connections you make with your jokes, no matter how dark or sick or even like unconnected they may seem, like there's always like, because it makes sense to you, it makes a strange, like the audience can tell that. Like if it didn't make any sense to you, then the audience would also not be able to make any sense of it. But just the fact that it connects to you, like we can kind of get that. And I can actually relate to that, because when I do comedy, I like to think that I think outside the box too, because I have like almost ADD or something, where my brain is thinking about 100 billion different things at once, 24/7. So I'll make connections that way, where I'll think of something, and all of a sudden I'll go to like something completely different, like, oh, there's a connection here that I can make for a joke. You know,
now that for some reason you mentioned that ADD, it's like I'm seeing my therapist on Tuesday, but I almost feel like I don't have to now, because I just realized something. The reason why I like when everyone else is miserable, why that makes me happy, is because it's like I have company. Everyone gets it. They finally understand.
I think that's what's important, is using like your mental illness or whatever as a strength and not as a weakness. Like I do with my ADD on stage. My crazy, I use that for my comedy, and you can do the same thing with your stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I still haven't heard back from Anime Kanji about my panel.
I haven't either.
So we're both in the same boat.
I applied to Fanime though for the two panels. I applied for mine, and then I applied for the comedy workshop.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep everyone updated.
Hopefully we'll get more than like 5 people this time.
I'm pretty sure we will, easily.
I think it'll be fun. I thought we did a really good job. I'm surprised, that you had to miss the ALA one, but I thought we did a really good job there.
I didn't even know there was an ALA one. I had no idea.
Oh no, Denzel told me to do it, so I just kind of...
Well, I had no idea. But, maybe, I'm starting to think maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know. I just think that about everyone at some point.
No, we all like you, so...
No, not really. There's one person that doesn't like me right now.
What? Is it Danny? I don't know.
Oh, no, he loves everyone. He's all about God. No,
he is all about God. He always got his church stuff.
Someone else, but it is.
Whatever. I think Danny probably hates me. That's okay. I mean, I said enough where he should hate me. I guess after the crap, I'm just being honest. When I say shit about it. So again, I don't hate Danny as a person. It's just some of the stuff he does kind of bothers me. And I guess I feel like I have to say it, even though I probably shouldn't.
I gotta make it clear. Everyone on this show, for the most part, our intent is never to bash comics. It's just to be honest. And if your honesty comes off aggressive or insulting, so be it. Accept it.
I'm starting to see why more artists don't talk about that. Like why a lot of like actors or directors won't talk about their peers because it can be so easily misinterpreted as like, oh, that guy's a douchebag, how dare he talk? Like, no, I mean, I think there's got to be some kind of critical talk between your peers. I think that's got to be important, because I would want for me, like, I feel like I can say, because I feel like I can take it, where, like, I want somebody to tell me, Fazio, you suck, stop doing this. Like, I would want somebody to say that to me so I can think about that. You know? So that's why I say it to other people. Even though maybe they don't want to hear me. Maybe they don't want to hear me say whether they're good or bad. And that's fine. You know? They just gotta tell me, hey, don't fucking talk to me about that. Okay, I won't say any more shit about you. You know, whatever. But just... I feel like, be honest, you know, if you have a bad set, I don't hate you as a person, but I'm going to tell you had a bad set, so you can have a bad, because like I said, I want everybody to be the best fucking comic they can be. I want Danny and Trung and all those guys to be the funniest guys I've ever seen in my life, and I feel like in order to get there, you know, you gotta be told, I gotta tell them, you know, why they aren't there yet, at least in my eyes.
It's like, I don't want them to be better, I just point out when they're not.
Yeah. Well,
I don't care.
Competition.
I don't care how good you are, but if you suck, I'm going to point it out.
I really want people to be their best, even though I know not everybody will. Because for me, like, I want to be my best, and I guess I just assume that other people want to be there. And that sounds conceited. Like, oh, Fazio's fucking trying his best and he's not funny. Whatever. You know, if I'm not funny, please, podcast people, tell me if I'm not funny. You know, like, you had a bad set, here's why. Like, I want to know that stuff. Like, that's really important. I love bad criticism more than good criticism most of the time.
Yeah, I don't really get anything anymore. I was gonna say something, I don't remember what it was. What was it? God damn it. Who knows? But a Fanime, so we're all working that together. Anime Expo, who knows what's going on with that.
I'm excited for it.
Are you cosplaying this year?
I need somebody to make. If somebody makes me a cosplay, I'll do it. I think, don't you have to like hire people to do that for you though, to actually like make you something?
No.
G says he's got somebody that makes stuff for him.
You can make it yourself.
I can't. I have no fucking artistic skills whatsoever. If you give me some fabric and shit, I'll destroy it. You know, it'll burn somehow. I can't do. You know me. How fucking stylish am I? Where I could create something like that? I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
if somebody were to give me like a fucking cosplay, really, I'd totally do it because I like to ham it up. You know that. You know, I like to be the center of attention, so I will absolutely cosplay. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if you didn't buy the big enough tits, no one's gonna pay attention to you.
Well, I would make. I mean, I could do what G does, you know, because I think G's really funny when he does the act. Because that's what I would want to do. I would want to be like a cool character, like G is with like the Emperor's New Groove guy or Uncle from Jackie Chan. I would want to be like a character like that, like can really act out, and people are like, oh, you know, that's clever. We don't see a lot of that cosplay. Like, I would want to do something like that.
I just like being women.
That's your thing, dude.
Yeah.
And I want to do some kind of funny cosplay. I don't know what it'd be. Like maybe something from like an old 80s or 90s American cartoon.
Actually, my ex-girlfriend and I we were supposed to cosplay Nelson. Just to see if anybody would get it.
And both of you were Nelson.
Yeah, after the rain, yada yada. And my girlfriend now, we're thinking about cosplaying Axl Rose and Slash.
That's pretty funny.
Because that's another reason why I'm glad I'm toned now. Because I can walk around shirtless with a guitar and just let my hair go naturally and put on the top hat. No one would know that I wasn't Slash. You know? I
like that Axl Rose will be the girl too. I think that's very appropriate.
Yeah, and she's a great actor, so she could act and gyrate with the mic that
pretty funny.
We'll drag it around with all the things on it, and she'll wear the headband with the red hair, and it'll be great.
I want to do something like some kind of funny cosplay of some kind of character.
Yeah, you have fun with it. Don't be a career cosplayer and then have a cosplay page, and that's how you get your accolades.
No, because I have no time for shit like that.
I don't understand why people do that. I mean,
if they like, hey, you know, it's like anything else. If you really like doing it, then I don't see any problem. It doesn't bother me, you know.
I don't know why it bothers me.
Well, you cosplay more, so I mean, you have some kind of connection to it.
It's like, but the thing is, like, everyone wants attention, and it seems like, no disrespect to you, it seems like I'm the only one that admits it. I want everyone to look at me. But I'm saying it. Everyone else is just kind of acting like they don't need it.
I got a Facebook friend and she posts just like cosplay stuff, and she'll like complain about like people wearing costumes and shit. Oh my god, this girl like totally got this fact wrong about this cosplay, and she's like attention whore. I'm like, I do not care about any of this shit. Please stop putting this shit on my wall.
People just need to be honest. Just be honest. You want people to like you. You want people. Yeah, I want people to like me. But I don't want them to like me for giving them something that I'm not. I want them to like me for making them think and realize that they're idiots. And then not be idiots, you know?
Or some kind of video game cosplay.
Oh, do a Street Fighter one.
That's everybody does a Street Fighter one.
Yeah, but...
I was going to be Guile. I actually bought some stuff for it.
Do a good Street Fighter one, because I want, for Fanime, I want a good group, because I don't want my Cammy to go to waste.
If I do Guile, then I definitely got to go to the gym. Because I don't know where that...
Yeah, you're not going to build the muscle in that short amount of time.
I know. Well, I got at least not look like a fucking idiot, you know.
But I can't be Cammy with nobody around me.
It should be a character from Killer 7. That'd be funny.
Oh, I love that game.
It's a great game.
It's one
of those games. The more time goes by, the more I love it.
Be the guy in the wheelchair.
The old guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I always wanted to cosplay the Broad because I love her hair.
Oh yeah, and you had like the blood with the wrists and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
But
the punk with the roller skates. And they would think I was from like Jet Set.
Yeah,
Radio.
Jet Set right there. You go. Jet Grind Radio, whatever. But my things are all set. But anyways, I think it's a good time to wrap this up.
I think so.
We'll probably do it again tomorrow. I'll be at the Hard Rock Cafe, Pier 39, San Francisco.
And that'll actually be a good podcast because you'll be able to talk about it like right after it happens.
Yeah, so, and I'm not going to get drunk too. That'll be interesting.
Well, that remains to be seen.
The last one I did, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I puked on my own ass. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I blacked out after the last chaser that I had after the last double shot. I was out. Were you like in the fetal position or something?
I
don't know. I don't know.
How you'd have to be bent over, like a caterpillar or something.
I really don't know. By blackout, I mean black out.
You probably just threw up and then sat on it. That's probably what happened.
Well, apparently I threw up on the bar, on the carpet. I left a trail into the bathroom. By the time I got to the toilet, I didn't need to throw up.
See, I'm pretty good about, even when I'm blackout drunk, I'm pretty good about getting in the toilet. I've been very proud of that.
Well, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to black out. I never black out when I'm with the girlfriend that I'm with now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but if I'm like with the guys or whatever, and we have like a way back home that's not like driving or shit, like we'll just get like fucking stupid.
My last girlfriend, she didn't stop me, And every time we drank together, I blacked out, and that's not healthy.
No, it's not.
So I'm trying to reverse that whole thing. That's why tomorrow I'm not going to drink. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna have pineapple juice and some water and some asparagus and call it a night. So it'll be
that's
pretty
healthy.
fun.
No, that makes you perform better too. I think just eating stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
you always feel better when you eat healthy food. When you eat like broccoli and asparagus. Well, it may not always feel good going down, but like when I eat like broccoli and shit, I'm like, wow, I actually feel really good. Like I'm glad you never say that after you eat at McDonald's. You're never like, wow, I'm so glad I had that Big Mac. I feel great right now. No one's ever said that.
I don't eat there. I don't eat that stuff.
It's any fast food.
No. Broccoli's delicious.
I like broccoli too. I like green beans and asparagus.
Okay, well we'll get to this tomorrow. All right, you just
we'll
yawned.
Talk about vegetables tomorrow.
Yawned.
We're going to talk about the food pyramid. We're going to tell you where to look both ways before you cross the street. All that magic school bus shit.
Don't drink milk. Don't do it.
Milk is good for you.
Nope. Milk actually strips calcium from your bones.
So it does the opposite of what those commercials do.
Yes, absolutely. It can lead to osteoporosis.
I drink non-fat milk. Is that healthier?
No.
Okay.
The best milk to drink is rice milk.
We have that. My mom's all about the rice milk.
Yeah, it's good. But you'd be healthier smoking a pack a day than drinking a glass of milk.
What about goat's milk?
Probably the same thing.
My mom drinks a lot of that too.
I honestly don't know, but the dairy industry is evil. They are fucking evil.
See, I eat cheese on everything. I love cheese.
Ugh.
It's my problem.
Nah.
Like when I have like pasta, like I just pour like a half pound of Parmesan on it.
See, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. And you're Italian, right?
I eat terribly for an Italian.
You don't eat right. I mean, I'm Sicilian.
I don't eat
so
pasta right. I don't eat pizza right. You know.
Pizza. First of all, let's be honest. Pizza, the way it is today in this country, is completely wrong.
I went to Italy, and yeah, the pizza there is completely different. It's really good.
It's entirely
I think they're both really good. I really like American pizza and Italian pizza.
It's a different thing. They should call it like a poopsa or something.
It like melts in your mouth. It's like a I don't know that's how they make it. There's no such thing as a pepperoni pizza in Italy.
No, there isn't. There's no meat. I mean, you just get.
I can get like a sausage.
You get leftovers, basically.
They have meat. It's just a different kind of meat that they use. They don't use pepperoni.
Well, originally pizza started out as like it was literally you just get the dough and you just put whatever you had from.
Well,
the day
it was like
before.
an appetizer thing. It was like a
it wasn't an appetizer. It was what you had left because you didn't have anything else. It was
like sausage.
It's like poor people food.
Yeah.
It's like soul food.
That's how sandwiches started out and shit like that. It's all just like easy stuff that you can make.
Yeah, that's how most consistent things start because they're simple.
Yeah,
that's why when you overthink comedy, you end up not being funny.
So remember for the final words, your comedy should be like a sandwich or Italian pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
Keep it simple.
Yeah,
that's the best advice. Is do not get too complicated. Trung was doing a little bit of that. With his jokes. He was getting a little too complicated. He was telling a little too many details that we didn't need to know.
Yeah.
Strip it. Keep it as simple as you can.
You always gotta. It's like you gotta. What don't you have to say?
Yeah.
What shouldn't be said? It's just like writing when you're writing fiction.
Like if it's a scene, like think about if you're writing a scene, does this scene add anything to the film? Does it actually do anything? If not, then you should probably cut it. It doesn't matter how much you like the scene.
Yeah. If it doesn't help, what's the point?
Right. It's called "kill your darlings," is what they say.
Is that what they say?
It's called "kill your darlings."
Is that the phrase?
The phrase is called "kill your when you're writing scripts, it's called "kill your darlings." If you write something, you really, really like it, but you know it doesn't work. It
doesn't help. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help, but you have to cut it.
Yeah.
It's called because you're so attached to it, but you have to cut it because it makes the script better, whether you realize it yet.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate goal. Maybe tomorrow we'll get someone else on also. Yossi.
Oh, nice.
Caitlin. Denzel, I don't know, somebody.
Get some pussy on here, I think. Get a female perspective. Nice.
Well, I just said Denzel. That's kind of insulting.
Before you said Denzel, I was thinking about what to say. Denzel, I love you. I know you don't have a pussy. I know the surgery went really well for you, and you're having a great.
That was pretty clever. That was all right.
Insulting.
That's like a 6. That's okay.
That's all right.
6 out of 20.
Denzel knows I love him. Yeah,
does he?
I don't know. Does he know anything? Does he even know who I am? Fuck him.
I don't know.
He's funny.
Don't say that. He's actually really
We're all
wonderful.
cool people. I'm just tired.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're wrapping this up. Thank you guys for listening. This will be up before you know it. And if it's not, I probably lost the footage. So, on behalf of Fazio and myself and Brian, who's not here, and Denzel, who doesn't talk to me, and Anne, who hates me now, and everyone else that I've, burned a bridge with. Good night. Say good night, Fazio.
Good night.
Fazio. Say it.
Fuck, no.
All right, whatever. It's done. Okay, I pressed stop, but it never ends when it's supposed to. It's still going. Stupid.